Welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. As always, it's your guy Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. My guys, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Bro, I'm awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like that.
Bringing the heat.
That's a change in the tide. Maybe because we were just having a little good discussion beforehand, and it just warmed them up, right? It just knocked some dust off of the book. You know what I mean? Ryan, what about you? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. I'm trying to get caught up.
Trying to get caught up. I like to hear it. Hey, well, before I get into NBA, do it below. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate the support. We need to change these algorithms and get this thing going, right? So I'm going to touch on NBA. We have a lot to go on the NBA. Actually, first of all, I'll touch on NCAA because NBA has a lot of like drama. So on NCAA, I watched a lot of ball this weekend because I know March Madness is coming up. I know a lot of y'all are depending on me to give you perfect brackets, and it's a lot of pressure, right? So I'm like, all right, let me do my research a little bit out in this conference play. I watched the Auburn game. They were in a nail biter against Georgia. For some reason, they have a big man, last name Smith. He should be the number one player in the draft coming out. They didn't want to give him the ball. So Georgia played hard at home, but Auburn ended up coming in, winning that game. I watched Baylor get blown out. I'm talking about blown out by Kansas, bro. It was embarrassing. Like, it looked bad. At halftime, they were down, I believe, like 15-20. Kansas had some boys, like, they got this dude on their team, white guy, Hooper. Like, he was catching alleys, dunking. I was like, is this the same Kansas team? Like, I haven't seen this guy before. Like, it looked like he was a different player. I forgot what his name is. I don't think it's McCormick. It's I don't know off the top of my head. But he was hooping. He was the leading scorer for their team. He was balling out. And then I ended the night watching UNC versus Duke. And Duke, they are on a mission. If I say any team right now, I think Duke has probably one of the best chances of winning it all. Just because it's Coach K's last season. Yeah, I remember in an earlier podcast, I said Coach K was done this season, but I'm sorry. Shire's taking over for him next year, so I apologize for that error. But no, Coach K's last season, and them guys is playing their heart out. Yeah, Houston is a sneaky team that a lot of people are not paying attention to. They of course, I think Samson is still down there. He's coaching his tail off. Their defensive team. So that's another team to look forward to. And that's really all I have for it on the college front. So I've been watching a little bit of games on that. Getting into the NBA, it's getting closer to trade deadline. Before I get into the trade deadline, though, I want to ask you one question, Brian. Jason Tatum has been hooping. I don't know if you got a chance to see him. He's been hooping. What's your thoughts on that? Why do you think he's performing so well right now?
I mean, I like it, but I'm not ready to buy in on the team yet because they're just beating up on nobodies. I mean, yeah, they took out Brooklyn last night, but, like, it was Kyrie. That was it.
Yeah.
Nobody else. So, like, it wasn't even that big of a deal. I mean, I don't know. Let's see them beat some teams from the West before I really am a true believer. I appreciate that they're actually taking care of the teams that they should be, though. I will say that. So it's a step in the right direction.
But so, what do you think about Jaylen Brown's play? Do you like what you've seen for him? Like those two, right? Having Kemba out of the picture now, right? Having Golden and Hader out of the picture, knowing that it's only them two, and I feel like they're having a good little connection back and forth, right? Like a yin and a yang. What do you think about that?
I mean, I feel like something clicked with them. I don't know if it was all the negative press that they've been getting in Boston, because if you don't know this about Boston media and fans, they are relentless. If you're doing bad, they let you know. And I think the start of the season, they were horrible. And so
they were.
I don't know if it was that, or maybe they started finally listening to Udoka, or I don't know what it was, but something changed. They started playing more team-oriented basketball, stopped trying to play the hero ball. You know, early in the season, I was really watching them a lot more, and it was just they would take the ball down, and it was either Jason or Jalen, and they would take the ball down, and it was all them, one-on-one.
Yeah.
That was it. They weren't doing any design plays. Like, you can only have so much of one-on-one ball. You have to have
two-man ball, yeah.
Yeah, you have to have, a team game to really be a complete team. So.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, he, you would think he plays ball in his day or something, huh?
I mean, listen, I did. However, I was short and I stopped growing, and then I lost my speed.
He used to
when
be
I,
6 foot, but then his spine just
No.
started caving in.
I lost my speed when I broke my foot, so I didn't make it very far.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let me touch on a couple
Yeah,
of
that's
things.
what held you back.
Yeah, it was the
Hey.
speed for sure.
I got that old man shot now.
Yeah, I know. We know you got the old man shot. Let me touch on some NBA trade deadlines things. So, of course, Cam Reddish. It happened 2 weeks ago. He got traded to the Knicks for Kevin. I forgot his last name. Kevin Knox. That's what it was. Kevin Knox. He got traded a couple weeks ago. So that was like the oldest thing. The most current thing is C.J. McCollum just got traded from the Portland Trail Blazers to the Pelicans. So it'll be C.J., Brandon Ingram, and it's going to be Zion whenever he shows back up or shows back into his original self. Portland's really like shipping their whole team, to be honest with you. In that trade, they got Josh Hart, Thomas Storyansky, and then Nickel Alexander, which is like, okay, little pieces. They also traded Powell and Covington to the Clippers for Eric Bledsoe and 2 other pieces. And then something that I think is interesting right now, I want y'all to take on here. James Harden, right? He was crying, like not crying physically, but he was crying like, I want to get out of Houston, right? I want to go to somewhere I want to play at. He gets to the Nets, right? He's good friends with KD, good friends with Kyrie, right? But then now he's not happy. So I don't know if you guys heard, but now he's talking about trading. He wants to get a trade to the 76ers, right? Mm-hmm. But this is my thing. I don't understand why he did all that crying to go to a team. You got a big 3 and now. I get it. The guys are not playing. Everybody's not playing at the same time, so he's taking on that work role. But it's like, bro, we got you, gave you what you wanted, and then now you're not happy and you're trying to leave again. So I'm curious on you guys' take.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not a huge James Harden fan.
Yeah.
I've always felt like he's been kind of a me personality. Yeah, I mean, reap what you sow, buddy. You know, if you want to get out of Dodge, then go ahead. Like, that's why if I was Brooklyn, I'd trade him, and I would trade him for Ben Simmons and get it done because actually Ben Simmons fits better for that team.
Yeah.
Is he going to get the fat suit out?
Oh,
Isn't that how he got out?
yeah, yeah, James Harden. Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. The last game he played, he only had 4 points. Like he's like not even like out there. He just, I don't want to be here. He keeps saying, I don't want to be here, type of thing. Like that's his demeanor, right? It's crazy. I don't know.
Look, man, I know one thing. Kyrie Irving is a cancer to all teams. So
it's not Kyrie though.
I think I think that there's a problem in the locker room, and I think it starts with Kyrie. I mean, come on, you got a guy that can only show up half the time. Like,
but that's not really his fault though.
I mean, it kind of is because, you know, I'm not like pro mandates on these vaccines, but if I was a professional athlete and that was the only way I could contribute for my team at full time, I'd bite the bullet.
But the thing is this, though. He doesn't need to because he's worth enough money to where if they said you can't play, he said he was willing to retire. He said if that's what it takes, he's willing to retire. Guess what they said? No, don't retire. Don't retire. So then he's like, okay, if y'all don't want me to retire, then I'm going to chill. He said, I will retire. I'm good. I don't need to put my health at risk of what I think is right or wrong and my moral beliefs because of that. And they said no. They wanted to say, no, we'll take it. And they said, okay, I'll sit out. And they're like, no, we'll let you play half the games. So then it's like, all right, cool. I'm not tripping on that. Right.
I know, but it also just takes away from the team as a whole. Like, you know.
But if they really cared, they should have told them, hey, don't play. They don't care. You know what they care about? They care about wins and filling up them tickets, them seats. So it's like, hey, we need to make sure that Kyrie's playing so our record doesn't look like trash, right, and get us to the playoffs. So that's, at the end of the day, it's not Kyrie's fault.
Well,
right?
they're only a playing team right now.
Yeah.
And they're slipping. So they better get it together.
Yeah. They're right on the cusp. So let me wrap it up so I don't take it too long. The Indiana Pacers made a crazy trade. I don't even understand why they did that. They traded Domantas Sabonis, he's a baller, right? Jeremy Lamb and then Justin Holiday to the Sacramento Kings for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. I feel like Tristan Thompson is like, hey, you need a big man, we'll just trade him wherever, right? But like Buddy Hield, he's a good quality shooter. But I'm curious why they did Tyrese Halliburton when he's a 2-year player, or this is his second year, but has a lot of promise, right? And then like you already have a young guy already on your team that's a rookie that's balling, right? So it's like I don't understand that trade.
Isn't Hield a big time scorer? Like he's a 20-point guy.
Yeah, but the thing is this, they in the other news they traded LeVert to the Cavaliers, right? Mm-hmm. So that's taking points out. So you need somebody to fill that gap. So you got Jeremy Lamb gone, you got LeVert gone. So you need a guard. So that's why Tyrese and Buddy Hield kind of make sense in that. But I just don't understand why you got rid of Sabonis, all-star player, right? Like I know he's coming up on a contract and stuff, but it's like he's been balling for you. Give that man his money.
Well, that might be what it is then. It might be about money.
But you gave Miles Turner. Come on now.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think, and then the Lakers, of course, we got blown the hell out by the Bucks, and then they're talking to now about news underlying is talking about getting Westbrook out of there. What's news flash? Who didn't think of that? Who didn't think of that? They were trying to trade Westbrook, but who's going to take him? I don't know.
Nobody.
But yeah, that's all I have for an action-packed NBA. So.
All right.
That's it?
All right.
Yeah, that was 15 minutes, taking all the time.
All right, well, real quick, we're just going to do real quick on MLB. Rob Manfred is scheduled to have a press conference tomorrow. There's speculation out there that I guess that he might step down.
Inside sources.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to be honest. I could be making this up. I swear I saw the tweet, and I'm looking for it. I think it was deleted.
Oh.
I'm dead serious. I saw.
We got to start calling Ryan Shade Room, TMZ.
You know what? If it happens tomorrow, I bet you they released it too early.
Yeah.
They just pulled a Bill Belichick. That's all that was.
I mean, hey,
it
could be true. It could be true. I mean, listen, the players are not happy with him. The Players Association, nobody likes Manfred right now because he's trying to change the game, and that's a sport that does not like to change. He's trying to implement pitch clock to speed up the game. He's trying to make these little rules, minor changes to the game, and these old heads just don't want it, and the players don't want it because it messes with what they're used to. And MLB players, man, they do not like change. They are very superstitious, and they have the same routine. And if you mess with it at all, it's like they can't play anymore.
I think that's athletes in general.
Well, but I feel like MLB players are just a little more weird about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's scheduled to speak tomorrow, which is Thursday. For those of you who don't know, we record on Wednesdays. And then also Trevor Bauer, in case you guys haven't remembered him.
Drop the case.
He was charged, or he was accused of sexual assault. What he called was just rough sex, and it was consensual. But basically, the DA, after like 5 months of deliberation or something like that, they decided that they can't prosecute him because they don't have enough evidence, and so the case is being dropped. So, pending any penalty action from the MLB, he'll be back pitching for the Dodgers next year, if they have a season.
I think the weird thing about that, I wanted to intervene real quick, is when you go through something like that, right? The taint is already on him now, right? Yeah. No matter if he did it or not, the taint is already on him because they're like, oh, you were accused of it. So it's as if he did it anyway. I wish it was something like, hey, man, it's a case going on. Don't say anything about it. We can't say anything about it, right?
No,
because now, yeah, I know that won't. But like in certain things like that, because now, who's going to endorse him?
Well,
it's going to be one of those. It got to be under the line. Like you can't be in a commercial.
You're right.
It's going to be an outcry. In today's day, it's going to be an outcry, right?
I think he's the highest paid pitcher right now, so I don't think he really cares about endorsements.
Yes, that's true too. That's true.
So, but yeah, I mean, all he's got to do is come back and pitch well, and somebody's going to pay him.
Yeah,
because unfortunately, if he did do it, talent trumps trouble in most cases. So they'll just look past it if he's still good. That's all they care about in the sport.
That's true.
And it's just but at the same time, like you said, he could be completely innocent, but he'll still have that that little taint on him. So but yeah, that's all I got for MLB. They're still locked out, so there ain't no hope in sight for them. We'll go into NHL. We got the Maple Leafs are the hot team in the East right now. They got a 6-game winning streak. Everybody else is kind of playing 500 hockey. The West, we got Colorado still leading the way. They're probably like the best team probably in hockey right now. Very talented. Probably going to be the front runners in the playoffs.
Aren't they the veterans team?
What's that?
Don't they got a lot of veterans on their team?
They got a pretty good mix and match. Like they got a couple of good young players too. Yeah.
Wasn't the All-Star game this weekend?
Yeah, it was.
Or this last weekend?
It was.
Yeah.
How was the national anthem? How did that go?
I have no idea. Didn't watch it.
Oh, you should look that up. The dude that someone sang the national anthem, and it was ridiculous. He held the last note and was like, you'll just have to look it up. Just look at. I'm surprised you guys didn't see it. You gotta look it up.
I want to see the skill challenge.
Did they play the Canadian anthem too?
I don't know.
I'm
just
wondering.
Don't
if
don't
they
come
did,
in,
it wasn't.
Don't come
it
in
wasn't
and asking us all these
poorly
questions. You didn't
sang.
watch it,
Bro. Lay off, okay? But yeah, anyways, that's all I got, man. Yeah. Look, we're halfway through the season. Trade deadline's going to be coming up in March. I mean, what do you want from me? It's a long season.
Nobody's asking.
Nothing
for
really
else.
popping.
No one
right
even
now.
asked you.
Nobody
Relax,
asked. You
man.
good, bro?
You guys looking at me like I'm supposed to talk for more than 5 minutes.
Nah.
Getting so defensive.
You're good, bro.
Can we talk about football? Because
Go ahead. We got a lot to
very
cover.
little time left. We don't really have a lot to cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's really not much going on.
Okay,
I mean,
sorry.
think about it. We said we'd wait till the end of the year to talk about the head coach stuff. So let's wait.
Yeah.
Even though I think all the teams are filled now, right?
Yes.
No, we got. It's a couple of other moves they're talking about doing.
No.
I thought it was one or two.
I think all the teams are.
All head
For like
coaches.
GMs and
I think
stuff?
all the teams.
No, just head coaches.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'm talking about
GMs
GMs
and
and things
stuff, just
like
head
that.
coaches. Yeah, I know the Steelers. I think are interviewing Louis Riddick for their GM position, but whatever. We'll cover that at a later date.
They getting all the guys.
Because I'm feeling pretty good about the Giants.
You want? Would you like
every year.
Louis Riddick?
I said I'm feeling good about the Giants because I like the Buffalo additions, and then I like the defensive coordinator that they picked up from the Ravens.
Boy, stop.
Wait,
You don't
where'd Patrick Graham
you don't
go?
like him?
Huh?
Where'd Patrick Graham go?
He went to Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. I forgot about that. Oh, that's a good staff. McDaniels has a good staff out there. Kind of like it.
McDaniels.
In Vegas?
Yeah, he's the Vegas head coach now.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you been? You under a rock?
See, this is why I said we're gonna have a week.
That's why I'm not gonna say nothing because that's why I literally didn't look at any coaches. Every time I saw any coach, I'm not looking at it because I was like, I want to be surprised when Ryan goes over it, right? And then when you said Josh, I was like, what? Go ahead. No, we're not talking about coaches.
All right, my bad.
We're not doing it right now.
I'm sorry.
We can't.
See, you busting the bubble.
Hey, I'm also not going to cover the Pro Bowl because nobody cares. It's literally the worst thing to watch ever. It's so bad.
I never seen them tackle. I didn't know that they stopped tackling. I said, y'all two-hand touch? Y'all two-hand touch?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
wrapped
They might
up.
as well.
That's it.
They might as well have a flag football game.
Yeah.
I think the only one that was tackling or hitting was Micah Parsons.
yeah,
he's out there laying
there's
wood.
always that one.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy.
He's different.
I love it.
Hold on. By the way, did you see the Madden skill challenge with him? It was him, Justin Jefferson versus Nick Chubb and what's my guy from for the safety from the Chargers?
Derwin James.
Derwin James.
James.
And they were playing. He Michael Parsons was so geeked, bro. He was so geeked. He was down a little bit in the game. He said, "Come back." He's like, "What? What?" He's like yelling, "Ha, ha, ha." He's yelling. And everybody's like, "Yo, chill." Like, he was too funny.
He doesn't have an off switch.
And then Marshawn Lynch was there. He's like, "Oh, he OP. He OP." Like, it was comical, bro. That's probably the best part of the weekend. My bad. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, they should just have these players just play Madden against each other, have a tournament.
For sure.
It's nothing. You don't want to watch it. It's a waste of time. But I think the AFC won.
Yes.
I don't know. There were like 900 interceptions during the game.
Shout out to my guys that made a Pro Bowl, though.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're not going to talk about Mac Jones doing the, what is it, the giddy?
The gritty.
Gritty.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
say that.
the
Oh,
gritty.
I don't know,
I'm clipping
Yeah.
that up. He did the giddy. I'm clipping that up.
You're out of my realm here, man. I don't know all the, like,
It was
the
it was
gritty.
on a touchdown that didn't count.
yeah, he ran to the end zone when it was blown dead after, like, a 5-yard gain.
Because Patrick Mahomes told him, he said, "Man, if you do the gritty, they're going to go crazy. They're going to go crazy." Patrick's like, "I can't do it, but if you could do it, they're going to go crazy." He looked good doing it, too, though. I can't even do it. He looked good, though. I got some rhythm. That's the J
How
Bill.
hard is it? It looks easy.
Okay,
Oh.
let's see
Yeah,
you do it.
Let's see.
I just
Oh,
what?
stay tuned. Video coming.
Hey, I won't talk about Odell. Hey, Jalen Ramsey's lobbying to shadow Jamar Chase during the Super Bowl. We'll see if that happens, and hopefully he can shut down that top 5 wide receiver.
Top five.
Yeah, for Kenny. Kenny's top 5.
And everybody
and then
on
the last
TikTok.
thing yeah, 2 more things I want to go over. One, Kyler Murray. There's some Kyler Murray drama. He's taken off Arizona Cardinals.
Talk about that.
Everything Arizona off of his like social media page. Usually that's like a little thing, but that just means that negotiations are not going well, and this is his way of saying, "I'll leave. Like, I don't care," because this is his last year of his contract. They haven't extended the 5th-year option on him, or they haven't done that yet.
That's
Would
not due
you?
yet.
So,
That's
I
not
thought
due
that-
when's
yet.
it due? This year?
I thought they were coming to June. Right?
I think it's
Off
before
season,
the
right?
draft. It's before the draft.
Oh,
But-
okay.
Okay, so they have to decide soon.
March?
But like usually,
Yeah, it's probably like
usually they
after
make
the
that
tags,
decision.
Okay.
somewhere in there.
But even then, he doesn't want the 5th year. He just wants to get a deal done. He's
Well, yeah.
going into year 4, and in his defense, he is a rushing, like he running is a big part of his game. He does throw the ball a lot, so he's good. But he can get injured like that, so he knows like I got to lock this money down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So stop being selfish and throw the ball.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah,
scramble to
sure.
run down the field. You can just scramble in the pocket.
Yeah, he should to keep himself healthy.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the Cardinals are probably kind of playing it close. They're like, we don't want to sign you to a long-term deal until you figure out how to protect yourself.
Yep.
Because look at last year. They got injured towards the end of the year. They were a good team, and then they all started getting injured, and boom, they lost like 6 of the last 7 games.
Not to mention that that's been the case the last 3 years they've been playing. They lose the last 6 games at least to end the season. So, I ask you guys
So
this
we'll see
question:
if they work it out.
Would you give him a 5th year or till extension contract?
I'd give him a 5th year.
Would
But
you
that-
give him a
I would
5th
give
year or
him a 5th year.
extension contract?
It would depend on the price.
It only makes
One of the two, one or the other. Would you give him the extension or a 5th year? Sorry, because I said it together. So you
5th
give him
year.
a 5th year. Would you give him a 5th year or extension, Ryan?
I would give him an extension. I would try and lock him down. But I think that they're being held up on like some injury clause. Like
Oh, okay.
there's some things that you are being held up in there. Well, I'm just assuming, but because you can't do anything about it. You have to give him market value for quarterback. He's been performing well. It's not like you should give him like the number 1. He's got to be the highest paid quarterback like Patrick Mahomes or like Josh Allen money. But it's just the way the market is. The cap increased this year like the highest it's ever increased just because, it didn't increase like 2 years prior whenever we had that COVID season. It didn't like really, the cap didn't move down. I think it actually decreased a little bit. And then this year it like jumped up like 12, 13, 14 mil.
You think he's not going to take that?
They're going to get paid more. What, more money?
Yeah, you think he's not going to
I
want
don't
the
think he
highest
signs
contract?
for anything that's not. He's going to want that, yes. And I think that yeah, he does.
I know he won that, but like, do you think he deserves that?
No.
I also said that Dak didn't deserve 40 mil whenever he was asking for it, and then by the time they got down to it, it was like, all right, just give him the dang 40 mil and lock him down. And isn't that what he ended up getting it?
But Dak's performance, you can say, I can argue that is better than Kyler Murray's performance.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. But Kyler has to learn how to finish seasons. So
That's it.
And I think that's what the Cardinals want to see.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be able to finish a season. And because he looked like an MVP candidate last year. He looked great. And then he just fell off.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That'll be interesting what he decides to do. And what happens to that. Because I feel like that head coach is tied to Kyler Murray. So, like, if Kyler's gone, what
Back to
happens
college.
in Kingsbury? Yeah. And then the last thing I want to go over is some interesting injury stats that the NFL put out. So they put out some injury stats since 2015, and I just want to get your guys' opinion on it. So I was looking the concussions from preseason to regular season. 2015, they had 275 concussions in that season. That's preseason, including regular season. And then it has been decreasing almost every year. 275, 243, 281 it increased, 214. Anyways, and then this last year it was 187. So, I mean, the NFL has cut down concussions, and that's probably due in part because of the rule changes that they've been doing. And then another interesting one is the one that's increasing is ACL tears, and that's where I want to get like your opinion, Kenny. Do you think this is because of like training regimens or like the lack of practices that players like do during the off season now? Like, what is contributing to that? In 2015, they had 59 ACLs, 56, 54, 57, 49, 51, and then this last year, I don't know if that's an anomaly, but it was 71 in 2021. What do you think's happening there?
I think it's a tale of two things, right? Owners being cheap and the off season not enough. I'm not gonna say not enough practicing because they do a decent amount of practicing. I just think having padded practices makes a difference on your body, right? Your body adjusts to it, right? And if you don't have that, and then you go into like a situation where you got to go from 0 to 100, now you're playing in the game time. Like your body didn't get that adjustment or like that calibration period, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are like, oh, okay, cool. I want to take hits off my body. I get it, but you're not going full speed in practice, right? And everybody has that mind. Oh, I could just turn it on. Yeah, but your mind might tell you that, but your body might not be prepared to do that, right? So I think it's a combination of that with owners still. Everybody wants a turf field, turf. Right, a turf field, if it's not properly kept up, right, it's going to be hard to stay injury free. The grass is going to give you some resistance to where you don't, or not resistance, some leeway when you're cutting, so you don't dig into the ground and stay there. But turf doesn't do that. If you hit on the turf, you can get stuck. Then pop, different things like that happen, right?
As long as it's not M&T Bank Stadium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But you got to think about it, right? They have these stadiums, right? The turf field is not an actual solid turf that's on the mat. They kind of remove the turf, come back and put it in a different place, remove it, let it do an event, bring it back. So it's like it's not solid to where it sets in and actually, feels real in that sense, right? So that's another thing. Right.
That's interesting. Brian, you got any thoughts on that? Like,
I mean,
or just the same?
The reason why they like the turf, besides being cheap asses, like Kenny said, is also it plays faster, so these guys can make these cuts at higher speeds. Because, like he said, when you dig in, you are digging in turf. With grass, you have a little bit more, a little bit of a slide, yeah. I just think that they play faster, so that's what. If you play faster, it leads to more scoring, and the NFL is all about more scoring because that in turn leads into fantasy, which is a big driving factor of their fans in this day and age. So, It's all connected.
All right. I think it's crazy. It's the NFLPA who like represents the Players Association, obviously the NFLPA. They're lobbying for less practices because they want less injuries, but it's almost showing the numbers are that it's like potentially resulting in the opposite. Like, I just hope that it doesn't change like more rule changes like from like obviously they're changing for the quarterback. They've been changing rules for days, but like if they start changing things for like you have to be tackled within this zone. Like, it's already that way, but like if that zone starts getting smaller and smaller, it's gonna be a hard sport to watch. But people have been saying football's dying for years, and people still watch. And fantasy and daily fantasy is just gonna make it way worse. And sports betting for each for every state now that's like rolling out and becoming more and more legal, there's no way that football is gonna die anytime soon. So it doesn't matter if they're playing two-hand touch. As long as these big teams are out there, people are gonna bet, people are gonna watch, people are gonna play fantasy, and it's crazy. But the MCLs, I want to add that one in there too. It's 128 this last year, but in 2015 it was 160. So that was kind of an outlier year. I don't know why, and then since then it's been dropped. It's been dropped pretty low. But
the MCL is not hard to tear though, right? Like, I think a lot of people think it's like your ACL is most common, right, because of like the direction and stuff like that. But the MCL is not hard to tear. Like, it's more harder. I think it's more difficult to tear your LCL. I hear less. I will say that. I don't know about difficult, right? I hear less injuries about LCL than MCL. You hear the medial a lot. And I want to say one thing. I looked up. You know that the Ravens have a grass field. I could have.
Yes.
I could have sworn it was turf. It's Bermuda grass.
That's what I said.
They need it. So if it's Bermuda grass, they need to go get this Kentucky bluegrass or whatever this other and take that out, because that Bermuda grass is the little things that be at the bottom is tearing them up. Take that out. I thought they had turf. That's crazy. I was just looking at how many teams had turf and grass fields.
A lot of the players that were playing at Raven Stadium were like, there were a lot of players that almost said, "I'm not going to play that game because of how bad the turf was." Obviously, they want their paycheck, so they're going to play. But like, it was pretty bad this year, and I hope they address it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just trying to think about speed, because I know Brian said, "Hey, speed." But I'm like, okay, Kansas City, they play on grass. Tyreek Hill's fast as hell. You got Arizona Cardinals play on grass. Isabella, and there's one of the fastest players in the league. You know what I mean? I was just thinking about that. That's all.
I mean, but how much is Isabella playing?
He played a lot before the last 2 years. Right now, this year he didn't play too much. But I'm just naming certain players on there. Right? The same thing. Chicago Bears. They had Jakeem Grant. You know what I mean? That's grass. He's moving. Right.
Sure. I'm not saying that these teams that play on grass don't have fast players, but like, there's a reason why there's a lot more domes nowadays than there used to be. Like, when's the last time you ever saw like a muddy field in a rain? Like, you don't see that anymore.
Not their reason isn't for
mud
speed. The reason is for, they know if they don't have a dome stadium, they're probably not going to be competitive enough to get a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Unless they're in like a really warm climate. And a lot of these teams that are building, like for example, Buffalo, as much as Buffalo wants an outdoor stadium, I find it really hard to believe that they're going to have an outdoor stadium when they're building a new one, because no one's going to want to host a Super Bowl in the North, in Buffalo, in February, in an open stadium. It's not going to happen. And like, if you pay $6,000 to go sit at the Super Bowl,
you ain't trying to be in the cold.
You're not trying to be out there like
go Bengals. You know what I mean?
Go Bengals.
You know,
that was a good one.
Man. What is that? Is that it for football?
Yeah, man, there ain't nothing going on. Oh, the Super Bowl's this weekend.
Yeah.
In case you guys are wondering.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm glad that you said the Super Bowl, because that's what we're getting into for the great debate, right? Really, since it's Super Bowl weekend coming up, I kind of want to get you guys' opinion, and y'all, in our short time on this earth, right? What is the most eventful game that that you remember or that's most memorable to you, Super Bowl wise. So anybody can pop it off. I think Brian wants to go last, so it's either me or you, Ryan.
I'm just gonna get mine over with, just because it's so easy. Like, if you've listened to me talk about the New York Giants at all, like, how could I not pick the 2007 Super Bowl? Well, I guess it took place in 2008, but it was a 2007 Super Bowl. I think, what was it, 40?
If you're a real NFL fan, you call it the 07 Super Bowl, okay? You go by the season.
It was 40 Super Bowl 42. We played the New England Patriots. The Patriots, they whooped us week 17 of the regular season. Randy Moss caught that touchdown in the end zone. He got his
We
record.
didn't whoop you. We won by like 3 points.
I know, but we got
A
beat.
win is a win. A win
beat.
is a win.
That's not a whipping.
A win is a win.
Don't steal his shine. Don't steal his shine.
You guys played really well on offense that game. That was what I meant by the whooping. The offense was played well that game, and then we went in as like the wild card because we were 9-7 that year, and there we were facing against the Patriots, and we whooped you.
Oh.
And the Tyree catch, the David Tyree catch in specifically that year, is what makes that. I know everyone calls it the catch, and it's lucky. And Brian will argue that the refs should have called the play dead,
Or holding.
like 10 seconds before,
Holding.
or
Richard
holding.
Seymour was getting choked.
Yeah, but you know what? They didn't. And
Yeah, you're
Eli,
right.
with his scrambling abilities, back there looking like Gumby, got himself out of a tackle.
Closed
and
his eyes.
Closed his eyes and threw the ball
He definitely
up
closed his
to
eyes.
David Tyree. Yeah, and it was one of the greatest moments ever for me because, I mean, all season it was just kind of we weren't like a fancy team to watch. They weren't a high scoring team, but we had a tough defense. We turned it on towards the end of the year. Spags had a good. He was our defensive coordinator, same coordinator for the Chiefs right now, and we played really good. Oh, that was what was our big package that year? That NASCAR package where because we had OC, Strahan was on the team still.
Tuck, right?
Tuck. So like those three. Oh,
Yep.
what
It's
a
nasty.
great Super Bowl. And I want to add this for me specifically. I watched it at a buddy's house, and we had 2 TVs, one in one room, one in the other. The other room had Patriots fans, and our room had mostly Giants fans. And that specific play, because I think it was third down that play, but I think it was like third and like 14 or whatever it was, and he was trying to get down the field, and all we saw was the other room cheering. We heard the other room cheering, so we were like, "Oh, this is a bad play," because he had almost got sacked that play, so they were all cheering. But then like the play turned, and then they're like screaming, and we have no idea what's going on, so we're just reacting like way later than them. But it was like a roller coaster of emotions. I think I cried that night, and it was good times. The only other event I would bring up is not a Super Bowl, but like the Giants played the Packers. I think it was the 11th season, the Super Bowl year. But when the Giants played the Packers, my wife is a Packers fan, and she would not talk to me that entire night. And she actually, I remember her just sitting in the bathtub like halfway through the game, just like, I'm not talking to you. That was a good night. That was a good time too. Sorry, good times. I remember when the Giants were good.
Yeah, I was actually on Brian's side in that because I don't know why. I've always been like a Tom Brady fan, low key, and I hate the Giants, ironically. So so it's funny how life takes its courses, right? But yeah, I would say my Super Bowl is Super Bowl 51. I think that's probably the most entertaining Super Bowl thus far. It was crazy, man. I call it the Tom Brady prayer. They played Atlanta Falcons. They were there in Atlanta. Everybody was so geeked and amped up. They went into halftime 21-3, I believe it was. Then they scored the third quarter 28-3. I remember I was at my father's house, and And I was talking to everybody. He throws these big old Super Bowl parties. When after COVID's done, we can go out there, like big Super Bowl parties, like 60, 80 people out there. So everybody's in there, right? Everybody's like, no, forget the Patriots. Screw the Patriots, right? Because, of course, Trump was in office. They Bill Belichick like Trump. All this stuff, right? I was like, all right, whatever y'all say. I said, I'm telling y'all one thing. If you guys let Tom Brady score, right, and give him life, it's going to get ugly. No, there's no way they can come back. No way to come back. All right, scored 25 unanswered points. Everybody in the whole house got quiet. Oh, man. No, come on, no. Y'all can't let it do it. Y'all can't let him. I said, man. That boy Tom. I call him Mr. Tom, right? Like, I almost said the wrong thing. That's not it. It's definitely not that one. It's not that. Definitely not Uncle. No, not that. Definitely not that. Tom, right? Oh man. Anyway, so Tom, right? And I said Uncle Bill. That's what I meant to say. So right. Tom and Uncle Bill, right? So long story short, that Julian Edelman catch probably goes down as the number one catch of all time. Like a blade of grass, like right, literally a blade of grass. If they went out there and didn't trim the turf, it was over, incomplete. Right? That was probably the craziest catch I've ever seen. And then James White balling like out of nowhere. Right? Of course, he was catching catching passes all year. Right? But 14 catches, crazy. So, long story short, they ended up winning 34-28, and I was ecstatic and geeked up because everybody in the house was quiet, and they was doubting Tom.
Man.
Who won MVP that game?
I'm not exactly sure. Let me look.
I'm pretty sure it was Brady, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they gave it to Brady, and then he ended up giving the truck to James White.
What?
That probably makes sense.
No, he did that.
Yeah,
he did that to Malcolm Butler.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then who won the MVP for that game? Because
wasn't it?
I'm looking at the stats now. I'm looking. Maybe.
I don't know because Tom Brady threw for 466, bro.
Oh, then it was Tom.
Yeah, I was about to say he threw for 466. Oh, MVP, yeah, Tom Brady. My bad. Here you go. MVP, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And he covered the spread.
I don't know how you don't give it to anyone. How do you not give it to James White?
Because he threw for 466.
This guy had 3 touchdowns.
He did.
And he scored the go-ahead touchdown.
He did.
Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was the year he gave it to James White. But
could be.
Maybe that was the other
I think he did give him James White the card too. He did that. I think he did that. But whatever.
I mean, it's Tom Brady. He doesn't need a truck.
He doesn't need a truck.
Anyways, I just want to caveat on that, Kenny. I just want to note that I was at Ryan's for that Super Bowl.
No. We were at your house.
I was at your house. It was when you lived in.
Oh.
Yeah, it was at your old house, and we had a few people over, and everybody left at halftime. And was like, yeah, better luck next year. Like, they all thought it was over. And I remember our buddy Skip was like laughing it up, thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. Man, I was like, no, it ain't over yet. I don't see zeros on the clock. Like, I never lost faith. I was hurting inside. I was hurting too. But man, what a freaking comeback. And the Falcons should be ashamed of themselves because they had to screw
run
up.
it?
But anyways, my favorite Super Bowl memory is Super Bowl 49. It's when the Patriots beat the Seahawks. And the reason why I chose that one and not 51 is because they were going up against a defense called the Legion of Boom, who everybody thought was comparable to the 85 Bears. Like, the Patriots weren't supposed to score points in that game. Like, it was a coin toss for the odds, for the spread, I mean. So, I mean, I guess it was a pretty even game. But, I mean, Tom Brady in the fourth quarter, down 10. Nobody had ever come back from a 10-point deficit. This man was 13 of 15 in the fourth quarter for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Just brought him back from the dead. And I remember we were watching the game at my house. Ryan was there, and I remember thinking, "Oh, holy crap! He just brought us back. All we gotta do is make one stop." And then Russell Wilson throws this ridiculous pass to Jermaine Kearse or whatever his name is. This dude kicks the ball up in the air and is laying on his back and catches the ball. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is 2007 all over again. This is David Tyree 2.0. Like,
man,
I was
I'm
like,
so
how are
geeked.
we going to go through this again?
I was
Like,
so
how-
geeked.
You know, we talked about this. Remember, that was on Malcolm Butler, because every
yeah.
time Malcolm Butler would be in perfect position,
And somehow.
and he'd get it somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malcolm Butler played perfect defense on that. There was nothing more he could do. Like, and dude, that the ball just happened to come right back down on top of Curse, and he caught it. So at that moment, I was just like, oh my God, how is this happening? Then Marshawn, I think, took the ball for 4 yards. It was down to the 1 yard line. Second down, 26 seconds left to go. The Seahawks had one timeout left. So we all knew they could run the ball one time. And they didn't run the ball. They passed it. And Malcolm Butler made a hell of a play. And later, when they did the special about the Super Bowl run that they had, the Patriots did, they showed practice film of Malcolm Butler practicing that exact play, going against that exact play, and getting burned on it when they were preparing for the Seahawks. And so he learned from the practice that play was possible at the goal line. And yeah, Ryan actually started cheering before I did. When that happened, when the interception happened, I was just like, I don't even know what just happened. I was just in shock because I thought we were going to lose the game because that stupid catch. So, yeah.
Should have.
I would say this to add to you. I lost a lot of money that night because I'm a Marshawn Lynch fan, right? So I was a Seahawks guy, Legion of Boom. I'm like, I remember at that time I was at Temple at the time. I was drinking at the bar. They went up 10, right? I left the bar. I'm like, free money, right? Everybody in the locker room would bet me. They were like, oh, Patriots. I'm like, give me my money. I went home, right? Didn't listen to it because I thought the game was done. I said, there's no way, game is done. I get home and I get a text. They're like, hey, my boy was like, hey, you see what's going on? And I was like, what y'all talking about? The game done. I look at it and I see the Patriots driving down. I'm like, what? Hold on. What happened? Like, what happened? What was this up? Like, what happened? And I kid you not, I saw that crazy curse. My heart started beating faster. Marshawn Lynch was running like a bull. He got to the 1 yard line. He was like running all like out of control. Got to the 1 yard line. I was like, oh yeah, he's giving the ball. And when he threw it, bro, I yelled so loud, bro. I was like, why would you do that? That was the dumbest call in history. Like, it was, I don't want Marshawn to be the guy because Marshawn gets his bad rep or whatever. I don't want him to have the glory. I want to give it to Russell Wilson. And I'm like, Pete Carroll, like, what? You would have done that to Reggie Bush? You would have gave Reggie Bush the ball?
Yeah,
Give my guy Marshawn the ball.
Maybe that's why he didn't do it, because when he gave the ball to Reggie Bush at the goal line, he got stopped when he was at USC.
Yeah, that is true.
So maybe history was playing in his mind.
Do you think that was a Pete Carroll call, or do you
No.
think he was just trying to protect Russell Wilson, checking to the pass?
No, that's a Pete Carroll call for sure.
Yeah.
They already said it. A Pete Carroll call. Even the sideline, everybody was on the sideline like, did you Richard Sherman face? Huh? What you doing? What you doing? What was you doing? Everybody was like, what? Because everybody just knew that Marshawn was getting the ball.
Listen,
Yeah, he had over 100 yards that game too.
I know. I got to defend the play call, though. I got to.
No.
Yep,
There's
I'm
no
going
defending.
to. And here's why. The Patriots had already stopped Marshawn Lynch on 3rd and 1 twice in that game.
It doesn't
So
matter.
1 yard to go, they'd already stopped him. Not only that, but
It's
Marshawn...
second down, isn't it?
Yes. So what are
But
you
still,
talking about?
Marshawn Lynch, that year, was only 1 for 5 from the 1 yard line in scoring.
Yeah.
So it was a 20% chance.
He definitely knew that stat right away. He knew that
so let me
right
tell you
away.
something. Let me tell you something, Ryan. That's fine and dandy, but when you see the play before, how he was running like a bull, the Patriots was moving at his way because he was running so hard. He would have got that 1 yard. That 1 yard
Maybe.
He would
for the
have.
Super
don't
Bowl.
know.
He would have
And
got.
those-
No. Come on, bro. Beast
Those
mode.
ones
bro.
he didn't
It's
get
beast
in the
mode.
season?
Cut it out.
It was the Super Bowl. There's no way you're keeping him out of the end zone.
No way.
If it was any other game, just regular season, that's why he gets stopped in the regular season. He's like, whatever, man, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is the Super Bowl. He's getting in that. end zone.
He ran that thing so hard. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I remember going to the locker room. Everybody, it was like a father that owed child support. I was like, everybody was like, hey, handout. I'm paying everybody. Everybody, where my money, Kenny? Where my money? Yeah. That shit pissed me off. But anyway.
Yeah, but let's add on to this, though, real quick. I mean, there was over 100 throws that year from the 1-yard line, and that was the only interception that happened. And Marshawn Lynch, for his career, is only 42% from the 1-yard line.
We don't care. It's second down.
I know.
It's second down.
I'd rather be 40% on second down than on fourth down.
Yeah.
Like, throw it on fourth.
Yeah, if that's how you feel, throw it on fourth, throw it on third. If he doesn't get it that on the second down, right? 2 and 2. Give it 2 to your best running back, 2 to your quarterback. 2 and 2.
Yeah, but if you run it on second down, you waste your timeout because
Cool.
you get stopped, okay? Now the defense knows you're throwing it.
That's fine because you got to throw to the end zone anyway to stop the clock. It's only 1 yard. You can't go back on a 1 yard.
I'm just
Right? You're going to throw it to the end zone. So the clock's going to stop. Okay, cool. I go again or I kick the field goal. But in that case, we're going to go twice.
I know,
anyway.
but it's easier to play pass defense when you know it's going to be a pass.
Yeah, all right. I don't even want to talk about it, so I'm done. All right, so I'm gonna scars. All right, so
I hope you lost a lot of money.
I did. I lost like $3,000,
Damn.
and that's me in college. So that was like, oh, right. So, anyway, that's our great debate segment, but it's our Super Bowl segment, right? So before we go, right before I let everybody go, quick, BK bets who y'all like for the Super Bowl.
Bengals.
What's the spread?
Doesn't matter.
Bengals.
All right.
Money.
Bengals money
All right,
line.
money line.
Who you?
Brian said Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm going to go Rams.
Score.
I'm going Rams.
That's what we're gonna do.
Score?
Yep.
27-21.
Okay.
28-24.
28-24. I'm going Rams as well, and I'm going with a 31-17.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Coin toss. Prop bet. Coin toss.
Hey, before that bet, before I bet the closest, right? $20. Closest.
Whoever's closest.
Whoever's closest.
All right.
All right, cool. $20. Y'all hear it first. $20 on that. Prop bet. Who? Heads or tails? What's the prop bet?
Heads or tails? Coin toss. Heads
I
or
already
tails?
know what Ryan's saying.
Tails never fails. Let's go.
Tails.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead so I can win money.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna win money against you.
Yeah, okay.
What else we got? Any other prop bets? Gatorade? What color Gatorade? I think it's just gonna be clear.
What? No. Who has the biggest performance? Both teams.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. Cool. That's your dark horse. Who about you? How about you, Ryan? For the
Does
Bengals.
it have to be a dark horse?
No, no. I'm just saying. That's his dark horse, right? He's just saying Joe Mixon. What are you saying for the Bengals?
Cooper Kupp. I mean,
On the Bengals?
oh, best player on the Bengals?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant like MVP.
No.
Bengals best player? T. Higgins.
T. Higgins.
That's a good one.
I'm going Jamar Chase. I'm going Jamar
He's gonna be
Chase.
locked up.
No, I'm not going Jamar Chase. I'm actually going to go Joe Burrow. I know it's easy, but he's going to have a game. And then on the Rams.
He's gonna have a game, but he's gonna score 17 points.
Yes. Yes. It's good. All right, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You got me on that one. I'm gonna go Jamar Chase still, because I'm gonna stick to my guns. Jamar Chase. I'm not gonna go away from it because you guys try to read me off at Jamar Chase. What about Rams before we let them go?
Oh, man. I think Tyler Higbee.
Is he playing?
Yeah, they said he's supposed to play.
Yep. I'm just saying. I just think Tyler Higbee's going to have a good game. They're going to be concentrating on Odell and Cooper too much.
You said Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp's gonna ball out. I tried to go against him last week, thinking like Odell's gonna have the better game. Odell had a good game, but Cooper Kupp was still the man.
I'm letting y'all know right now, Odell is going to have one of his best games of all time. It's going to be crazy. He's going, bro, I'm telling you right now, he's going to ball out. He's going to ball out.
I hope so.
He might win the MVP. Like, they might show favoritism, give it to Matthew Stafford, but he might win the MVP. That's how crazy he's about to ball.
You know what? Can I change my score? I think it might be more points. I think I might take the over on this game. I think we're gonna have an entertaining scoring Super Bowl.
All right, go ahead. Last time points. Final say on points since we changed it. Final say.
I'm sticking to
34-31.
34-31. Brian, what'd you say?
27-21.
All right, I'm changing mine.
Yes.
31-24. Still Rams. All right, guys, man. Like always, we appreciate you guys. We love y'all, man. We appreciate the support. I'm telling you, 2022 about to be an amazing ride, man. We got a lot of stuff in store for you guys. So continue to support, share with your friends, have them come watch, have them check out the website, motivateandinspirenetwork.com. Check out our other, hosts on their different podcasts and continue to support. We love y'all. Go Rams.